Alright, stop for a second. Just imagine what it's like to raise a family, open a business, invest in cryptocurrency, and have someone like Jake Paul publicly offend you all over the media. Well, this is exactly what Ben Askren is going through as we speak. And the way he manages it, well, you just need to stick around to find that out. Before we continue, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more future uploads on the latest UFC news. How the semi-retired UFC fighter spends his millions. As of 2021, Askren's net worth is somewhere around $10 million. He has gathered the majority of his wealth working as a professional mixed martial arts fighter. There have been many reports that claim he earned over $350,000 only in his first appearance in the UFC. Isn't that impressive? Above all, he has almost made $900,000 in his UFC career without including his undisclosed bonuses. Just to be clear, that is way above what the average MMA fighter makes in the industry. The way Askren has decided to spend his money is by investing it in his family business he shares with his brother Max. Both brothers have opened the Askren Wrestling Academy, which has 3 locations in Wisconsin, Mequon, Green Bay, and Heartland. The former fighter also invests his money in running weekly wrestling podcasts, The T-Row and Funky Show with Tommy Rollins and The Funky and FRB Show with Front Row Brian. He also is involved business-wise with MyBookie, Reebok, and Dollar Mer Sport, and is the owner of Rudis Wrestling Podcast. Askren has also invested a big part of his money in cryptocurrency. Gathering all this, we believe that he makes around $500,000 a year. As for his luxury items, Askren loves spending his money on cars. He currently owns a Rolls-Royce and Lamborghini, just to name a couple. It seems like he's living the dream life. Well, with all the hard-working years he has spent in MMA, he definitely deserves every penny. His secret for a great start in wrestling. Becoming a professional fighter is one of the most challenging martial arts to master. Ben Askren has proved his excellent performance in the sport throughout the years. Needless to say, he's considered one of the best professional MMA fighters. The 36-year-old has represented the United States in the 2008 Summer Olympic Games and was an NCAA Division I champion 2 times. In 2009, he brought his outstanding grappling game to the cage, where he held the ONE Welterweight World Championship and a 15-0 one no contest professional record. Nowadays, he is teaching other students his grappling techniques in his academy. Askren is a great success coach and mentor armed with the full Olympic experience, and now he is sharing his own secrets about how he managed to become a legend in MMA. Number 1. Find a good mentor. Even though wrestling is a one-on-one sport, having a mentor who will be open to guide you is a must, according to Askren. Another highly important point is being part of a team that is focused on success and long-term growth. Both of these features are important when it comes to personal growth. The first thing Askren recommends to people who aspire to be pro wrestlers is to find one of the best gyms in your local area that practices grappling art. Another option is to enter a martial arts gym that has a good wrestling coach. Number 2, train extra hours. Askren also put importance on the training process and how determined a person is to work on his work ethic and put a lot of extra hours into training. This is one of the most crucial steps to becoming a professional. Askren explains that no professional in any aspect of life is created without putting in a lot of sweat for what he wants to do or become, and that's the same for wrestling. Number 3, prepare for the worst case scenario. Every professional out there has had its ups and downs, especially Askren. He explains that if you're seeking success in the wrestling game, then patience is key. And when he means patience, he means being willing to go through all the ups and downs that come with being a pro. Askren reveals that he has had more failures at the beginning of his career than he has had wins, but he warns all beginners in wrestling that ups in wrestling can be more damaging than downs sometimes. In the business, Askren has seen people succeed and fall just because they become ego-driven from all the money and success. So staying humble throughout ups and patient throughout the downs in wrestling is key to long-term success in the industry. His rival with Jake Paul might make him millions of dollars or more. Okay, if you like following the latest news of MMA, you probably heard of the rivalry between Jake Paul and Ben Askren in the past few months. No one knows what's up between the two, but they have been trash-talking each other on their social media platforms and podcasts, and even in interviews. It seems that they have some things to solve in the cage, and a lot of people are now eager to see them settle the rivalry in the best way possible, which of course is by fighting. But there's a catch. Both the Problem Child and Funky have fighting values in the millions of dollars. It's not that they're doing all this for monetary gains from pay-per-view revenue, but the loser of the match will give the winner bags of Benjamin. If you already didn't know, Ben Askren has done this kind of thing before. The former UFC star has bagged his money several times as a bet in wrestling his rivals. He bagged up to $210,000 for the match he did with Jorge Masvidal. He did a similar thing when fighting against Damian Maia when he bet a total of $263,000. However, even though most of us have seen Jake Paul start as a YouTuber, he has been slowly making his way and becoming a professional wrestler. And if you haven't been following him, he won $1 million only in his first match against Ali Gibb, so he's taking things pretty seriously in the industry. And in November of 2020, he won another $1 million in his fight against Nate Robinson. There's no doubt that Jake Paul has beat Askren when it comes to getting the most monetary gains in wrestling. Paul is expected to win $1 million more in the fight with Askren as well. In fact, get ready for the next boxing match between Jake and Ben. Jake Paul versus Ben Askren is an upcoming professional boxing match between YouTuber Jake Paul and former MMA Ben Askren. The bout is scheduled to take place on April 17, 2021 at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. So to be fair, by the time this video is posted, the fight might have already happened, so we already know the winner and the loser. But rest assured, no matter the outcome, both went home with a lot of money. Ben Askren lives a completely different lifestyle outside the cage. Askren has proved to all of us that he is one of the few who have managed to dominate mixed martial arts and wrestling. But despite being dedicated and passionate about these sports, the 36-year-old focuses on a totally different hobby off camera. Can you believe that this former UFC star loves disc golf? This shocked his fans, as the only time Askren admitted to playing disc golf was back in the day when he was still attending Wisconsin's Arrowhead High School in 2000. But in reality, the moment he played the game in freshman year, he became hooked and started playing it religiously when he started attending the University of Missouri. Whenever Askren was not training at becoming a professional wrestler, he was spending his time in nature with a couple of friends playing disc golf. The ONE Welterweight World Champion revealed that it was the perfect hobby for him, as it didn't require a lot of energy, which he needed for training and studying in college. He used disc golf as a form of relaxation rather than spending his free time playing video games or binge watching TV shows. This side hobby mentally trained him to be moving at all times and even more increased his competitive spirit. Surprisingly, he took the sport a bit more seriously in the late 2000s and competed in PDGA Amateur Disc Golf World Championships and the United States Amateur Disc Golf Championship. And for now, he hopes to take disc golf a step further and start playing in Japan. It seems that Askren can become a professional in any sport he chooses, because in every sport he has tried has eventually gotten him somewhere. Whether it's mixed martial arts, wrestling, business, or even investing in cryptocurrency, if Askren starts something, he will be dedicated to doing it until the end. For Askren, success is all about applying what he learns from one venture to another. Askren believes that being successful in itself is a skill. He thinks that if someone manages to be successful at something, he can become successful at anything. Askren just takes the values and characteristics of something that made him successful and practices them in another thing until it generates profit. It may come as a shock, but Askren used the same lessons he learned in wrestling to become good at disc golf and then mixed martial arts, and now he is using it to do business. This might be a bit complicated to understand, but in the end, becoming a professional or becoming successful at something uses similar discipline and consistency. But the thing Askren thinks he has been the most successful at is not anything we have mentioned before. It is creating a happy and healthy family. Raising a family and preserving the harmony within is highly challenging, but Askren has mastered this by the discipline he has learned throughout his career. He claims that his family takes up a lot of time and has even made him unable to focus on disc golfing career. So Askren is now practicing the sport by playing with his children. He doesn't care how young his children are to get them involved in playing with him. Askren revealed that he has even taught his youngest child to carry and throw the disc around. At the moment, the successful former UFC champion is surely focusing on a lot of things. Whether it's business with his brother, training, his family, investments, or putting in the work to shut Jake Paul up, Ben Askren is a hard worker that deserves every penny he's earned. We got a little tired about just talking about how busy this man is. In fact, I got a little winded. Would you guys be able to handle his lifestyle? Let us know how you would manage time if you were in Askren's shoes. Thanks for reaching the end of this video. See you next time.